Is it better now? Is it fixed? Is my bitrate okay? What's going on? Slightly. I mean, hi. Hello. Hi, accident. Watch. Look. You guys. Oh, no. Am I looking crunchy? Is that it? Am I crunchy looking? What's going on? Is it just me? That's his side? Well, I don't know. Is it better if I like... I don't know. Anyways. Look at this. Anyways, I can do this now. I can... It's here and there, it's all good. Okay, well. That's better, I guess. Literally, look, on my end, it looks like it's fine. It says I'm in the green. I've got, it's 6050 kilobytes per second. Right? I can spin. Look. Whee! Yeah, I can spin. And I can flip upside down. That's pretty much it I can do. That's pretty much it. I've added effects. Do I need to do something? I need to stand. I need to like walk around. If this is how I... Look. You see, I live with roommates. Not roommates, but like my brother, but you know, with people. I cannot be loud at 12 a.m. in the morning. It's late and I cannot be loud, and this is just how I sound. This is my voice. This is how I sound. I want to scream. Oh. No, I'm not bored. I just think this is fun. Do you think it's not fun? Like, look. Whee! Uh-oh. 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 I'm like sideways. Wait. Let me reset myself. No, I'm not bored. I'm just, this is normal. This is a normal stream. This is a normal stream where I spin. I spin now. Isn't that a cool ability? I've never been able to do, I've never been able to do handstands or like cartwheels, but look at this. Isn't this amazing? So fun. Isn't that cool? This is the likes gun and I was looking for. Yeah, hell yeah. Heck yeah, legs. Yes, I have effects too, by the way. Ta-da! I have the weirdest things, but I literally never use these, but they're just there. Have it set up. I have a bunch of random things set up. Like I was trying to do a bunch of cool things with my scenes. I have just a bunch of effects that I never use on here. Like oh, I don't have it set up on this one. On my game scene, I was trying to set up like a zoom in effect, but it's not working because it's transparent and it's weird. But yeah, I have. the JoJo reference. And then I have this. The RIP. See, I don't need to edit. I don't need to edit anything. I just... I can just do it myself on here. I have the power to just do my own video effects. Anyways, how is everybody's day? How's everyone's, like, I don't know, whatever's going on. I spent, what? How long? Half an hour? No, half an hour. Half an hour trying to set up this scene thing. This transition, and it wasn't working. Where'd it go? Oh, I think I deleted it. I might have deleted it. Oh well. I was trying to get like a zoom in effect and it wasn't working very well, so I was like, let's just scrap it. Because I have this, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take your scene on OBS and duplicate it, and then you're supposed to zoom in, and then when you switch between scenes, it's supposed to stay the same, so that when you zoom in, it looks like seamless. But it's not working, and I don't know why. And I was like, you know what? Fine. I'm just like, I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna I'll try it, I'll figure it out later. But, yeah. You know, as always, like me, I like to try to add cool effects, new things, every stream. The only issue is that when they don't work, sometimes. Ooh, yeah, I have this, I added, oh no I didn't. Well, I did, but I'm not gonna do it this time because I think that gives you guys too much power right now, but I did get the effect to throw things. We can throw things now. Isn't that fun? We can throw things at me now, but I don't have it, I have the channel reward turned off for this stream because I'm going to activate it next stream because I don't want to have like 3 new things at the same time and have nothing for like the rest. So that is what I have. So sneak peek of what a bunch of stuff that I've set up. This means that I have like a million things running in the background sometimes. Because all of these need like its own program source open at the same time that I'm streaming. So I've got like at least 3 things running right now. Like on. Which is doesn't help my CPU, but you know, it's like what? It's worth it. It's worth it for the effects and the fun. You know? I don't know. I think it's so fun to just flip upside down. Like, look at this. Like, when's the last time? Like, I don't need to press anything. I just can do this. I can stand on my head. We're in Australia today. You guys can just see my legs. Not even my feet, just my legs. So we're gonna be upside down until I get bored. Anyways, as I stand upside down, do a handstand. Ooh. Do you guys like candy corn? You guys like candy corn? I was contemplating. I was like, you know what? I should like add something that like every single time. Like, so I was gonna do a channel point redeem, right? I was gonna be like, okay, every single time somebody redeems this candy corn thing, it's gonna be like 5 channel points or whatever. I was just gonna add a candy corn to the screen. And then to like the point, I was like, how long can I get it to the point where like I can get the entire screen covered in candy corn? Like these little teeny tiny PNGs of candy corn. But I was like, you know what? That's so much effort, so nah. Also, I have so much stuff on my OBS, my sources, it's just cluttered, so it's gonna be a mess. Anyways, this is my little ghost over here with this little candy bowl. Ooh. Yeah. Oh my god, it's like Halloween in like 5 days. Are you guys excited for Halloween? I don't really have any plans. My birthday was, what, 3 days ago? I didn't celebrate my birthday. I don't really celebrate my birthday. I just kind of go, yeah, I guess I'm older. Oh well. I get a cake. Like, I'll get a cake. And I used to celebrate with my friends, but my friends are like, not there. My birthday is on the 22nd of October. Happy birthday to me. Not really. I guess, happy birthday? Not really happy birthday, but yeah, I don't really celebrate it. What's so fun about a birthday? Another year closer to losing all your teeth is what I like to say. No, that's good. I think I did mention that like a bunch of times in the past. Am I crooked? I did mention it like I think like a couple days beforehand, and then I mentioned it really offhandly, so like no one really noticed, but yeah, happy birthday to me. It's okay. Wait, happy birthday. Yeah. Oh my god, am I lagging? Why am I lagging? My god, my FPS sucks. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the happy birthdays. What is going on with my CPU? Oh no, I've got too much open. Let me close these. I have too many browsers open right now. Let me close some things. One second. Oh boy. Close. Close. There we go. Okay, we're back. Better. How's now? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I am... What do you mean? I have, Oh no. No, I had 3 windows open. Hehe. I had 3 windows open. No, like, I don't have, what's it called? Imagine if I had Chrome and Opera and, like, I don't know, Firefox and a bunch of other things open at the same time. That would kill my PC. No, I had 3 windows open. Yes, I like to live life on the edge. And it, like, kills my computer. But that's fine. I only have 1 open right now, and that's good. I have, what? I have 1 tab with 1 browser open only. I used to stream with like 30 tabs open on Chrome, and then I realized that it was killing my PC so bad. So now I just have this. I actually stopped using Chrome because of how bad it was killing my CPU for no reason. I wouldn't have anything else open but Chrome. And you know how bad you know how bad that affected my PC? Yeah, I mean, when you're like me and you have what, like 30 plus tabs open at any given time, I don't know. You have like 30 something tabs for no reason. So it got to the point where I had to, cause you know, I get like, I don't know, somehow attached to my tabs. I'm like, well, maybe like, what if I need to use them later? Like, I'm gonna forget that they're there, and then when I close them, I will never find them again. So I got this, shameless plug, I got this extension called Session Buddy. You know how many bookmarks I have? I have way too many bookmarks too. So I got this thing called Session Buddy, right? So it lets you save all of the tabs you have open at any given time in each window, and it saves them as like a little like file, right? So that you can go back and you can open up each window that you closed, just in case, you know, you're like, oh yeah, this is killing my computer right now and you just need to close all these windows, which is what I just did just now, because I had a browser window open with like, like 10 tabs open, and then I just closed it. And it's okay, because I can get it back, because I have this extension. It's saved my life. It's great. Amazing. It's wonderful. I like it. Amazing. Really good. If you close the whole window, Google Chrome has a history tab broken open the whole window. Yeah, but like it only saves it up to like a certain point, right? So like once you close it and you restart a computer, it's like gone. So it like saves it to a certain point, you know? So I didn't want to risk it. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna like lose it ever again. No, it does. It goes away. It goes away and then you can't find it and you're like, no, my history. Also, for some reason, I think I have like privacy mode turned on Chrome, so like none of my stuff saves. Like I don't see my past searches on Chrome. Because like I don't like it when it records stuff and then I have to go back and delete all my cookies every so often, and it's really annoying, so I just have it off completely. And it's just there. I like how every single time I stream, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play a game today, and then I end up just talking the entire time. I had an inner like thought to myself a little bit earlier where I was thinking, I was like, how long do you think I can actually sit here and just talk? Like up until the point like I run out of things to say. How long do you think I can do that? Like I have this thought sometimes where I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I should just sit here and I should just talk, and I'm gonna see like literally like subathon, but the only thing I do is just sit here and talk, and that's it. And I like, you know, with some people with like as time goes on, right, you start to repeat the same things. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna like make it a point to myself where I'm just gonna talk about the most random things and I just pull things out of nowhere. You know, like Rap God would call me Yap God. I was like, you know, I was just like, I don't know. How many things can I talk about before I like run out? Before I just sit here and I go, play a generic non-mind using game. Oh my god, I did that in the past. I would, I have, what, 2 games that I like to default to. I have one called Leaf Blower Revolution where I just blow around leaves. Very fun game. That's all you do. You just blow leaves around. And then the other one is my favorite, my absolute favorite, my top #1 most played game on Steam, called what? Jigsaw Puzzle Dreams. I love Jigsaw Puzzle Dreams. I love jigsaw puzzles. It's really fun, and I used to just play that for hours. Like I would lock in, I would sit down, and I'd be like, puzzles. Rotating pieces. And I would sort the pieces into colors, and I used to just put together puzzles. It was bad. I would just sit there on I would do that when I had nothing else to do. I'd be like, you know what I really want to do? I want to play jigsaw puzzles on stream. And then I would do it on stream too. I would do it off stream and on stream, and I would just sit there and I would forget to actually stream. I'd just be like, you know what? I really want to like stream right now, but I also really want to play jigsaw puzzles. Then I was like, you know, I just want to like sit here and not talk and just like play jigsaw puzzles for 4 hours straight. And then if you saw me online on Discord, you would just see that I'm playing jigsaw puzzle dreams for like 6 hours. And then when I was playing it on stream, you know, I would like, it's you can do co-op on that stream too. You can do co-op on the game, so I would just have people come in and help me with the jigsaw puzzles. But yeah, it was fun. My god, Disney. Okay, at least I'm not playing, I don't know, what, Jenga. Can you play Jenga on stream? I don't know. Can you imagine? At least play Minecraft or something? No. Jigsaw puzzles. Like, I don't know, with Minecraft, I'm so bad at Minecraft, I just run in circles. Like, I'll run in circles, and then I don't know. I run in circles, and then I kill pig, and then I get lost. Or I build. I like to build. I made a greenhouse house. It was nice. I put like plants in there. It was fancy. But then I played hardcore mode and I think I died. You can do a server. Oh, cool. I feel like if we do a server, like literally no one's gonna join. It's gonna be so sad. I have like literally that's how it starts off. Like, you know, at the start everyone's like, yeah, let's play Minecraft. We're all gonna play Minecraft together. And let's play Minecraft together, and then like 2 months later it's just gonna be me by myself, and then I'm like, man. Is it like modded Minecraft server or like Bro does nothing else? I don't know what he does. Do you ever have like thoughts like that where you're just like, man, I wonder what that person does? No mods. We can play like... There was this mod I was looking at earlier, like the fantasy one. There's like a really cool fantasy mod where you have mods. That one's scary though. They've got like really... I think it's, what's his name? The specific mod pack is like Alex Realistic Animals, and they have these one type of mob that's Komodo dragons, and they have 13 bars of health, and they have like a super high speed. They run fast and they hit fast, and with somebody who has like barely any armor, you die so much to those things if you go near them. They're just aggressive. They attack on sight. Yeah, do you ever look at people and you're like, man, I wonder what they do? Like, does bro have a job? Don't beef with the cool. Okay, but they're in my way. I'm walking. I'm literally going past, and I look at them, they stare at me in the eye, and they just decide to attack for no reason. They're like the lizard version of wasps. They're so mean. I'm like, I'm just trying to walk by, and then they throw hands, they run up to me and they kill me. I'm like, darn it. I'll like go into a tower, I'll be like, man, I have such cool loot. I can't wait to get home so I can put it in my chest, and then I get killed by a Komodo dragon. And they attack too fast to like actually be able to like defend yourself, because you know, when you have weapons that barely do any damage against these things, and they attack so fast they kill you in 2 hits. It's like, what are you supposed to do? Okay, to be fair though, I don't have like any PvP experience, so maybe it's a skill issue. I think, you know, when I was younger, they used to have Minecraft, like, you know, the Minecraft one in the quiver, or like the little mini games on those servers they used to have. I used to play that. I used to play like the little Minecraft games. Like, I never played Bed Wars or anything like that, but yeah, one in the chamber with it wasn't like shooting specifically. It was like capture the flag kind of, where you were on 2 teams and you kind of have to kill each other, and then the person who makes it to the other side and take the flag, they get a point. And it's kind of like Valorant, to be honest, where you just like go back and forth, but you have a lot of people. And they split you guys into 2 teams, and everyone has like a different ability, and they have different classes. So like you had like archers with bows, and you had like soldiers with swords and stuff like that. It was cool. I used to play I like the assassin build, even though it was like I died all the time, but it was fun because you got the ability to become invisible. You had the ability to be invisible, and you got to run around, and you had like a really high attack. And you also got like a speed boost too. That was fun. The Minecraft Arena 4 players. Free for all was a fire on Xbox 60. I have never played Minecraft on the Xbox. I've only played it on like computers. I haven't even tried it on mobile. Like, remember like, I think back in 2006 when Minecraft was on the phone and they were like, oh look, we have a mobile version of Minecraft now. It was so bad, the controls sucked. The controls suck so bad, and it was like Bedrock Minecraft. It was like Bedrock Minecraft. The only thing they had, like, they had nothing on the mobile game. Like back when it first came out, it was like you only can run around on flat ground and trees and grass. No biomes, just Greenland, just grass, flat biome, dirt, stone, and wood. And just the most basic blocks ever. And that's all you could do. You could just run around and, I don't know, build little wood houses made of dirt. But yeah, I think they've gotten better at it now. I think they improved it. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it or seen it since. Because I downloaded it once when it first came out. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should try. I wonder if it'd be cool if I could play Minecraft mobile instead of my laptop on a trackpad. I wonder if it would be any better. And I was like, nope. This is worse. It's like so much times worse. The controls are bad. I couldn't see. And it gave me like bad motion sickness too, because like, have you ever played Roblox on mobile, right? Roblox and mobile, it's the controls like that. They have the D-pad in the corner where you go straight or to the sides, and then the other hand you're supposed to control with your like the view. But sometimes the D-pad would accidentally, like your finger would touch the other side, and then you're trying to control or run in a certain direction, but it would end up moving your view, right? And then you would just run it in an opposite direction that you were trying to go in. And you're like, no, I want to like look straight, but it would end up, you know, hitting you. So that's how I remember it. Or, you know, like it's just hard to find controls, like good controls on mobile specifically, just because of how small the screen size is. And then, you know, your controls take up the entire view of the screen and you can't see anything. Which is why I prefer either you have a separate controller for these devices, like for mobile or, I don't know, iPad or anything. Or you have it set in a way that works. Because I used to play Genshin on mobile for how many, like a year. And I think that it was pretty decent. To be honest, like Genshin mobile was okay. This is back when they didn't have very much stuff, so I could still have it on my phone and the file size wasn't very large. I think once it got past 13 gigabytes, I deleted it. And that was when they had like the Dragon Spine update. And then I didn't have, I couldn't download it on a PC because I didn't own a PC back then. So I think the only way I could play Genshin was on my phone. But it wasn't that bad actually playing not Minecraft, Genshin on mobile. It was okay. It was like, I think I got used to it because normally when I play stuff on mobile, it gives me like real bad motion sickness, but I think I was just, I had to like set up so that I didn't like move the screen very much. I could just run around in straight lines, and then the controls were kind of okay. You got used to it. I was really good at like the bow characters on mobile for some reason. My main at some point my main was Fischl, and I would run around doing every single shooting quest in Leah. So you know in Leah they have the little flower, right? To get chests, you run up to the flower with the balloons and then it releases the balloons and you have to shoot every single balloon to get the chest. I would do that and I would run around and I would do every single one that I saw just because that's just how much I liked using her. I was like, yeah, archery, woo! And I know a lot of people complain, like, I mean, it's really bad in actual combat, but like just running around using it, just standing still, it's fine. But no, yeah, combat was a struggle. Combat was a struggle in Genshin on mobile. But I haven't tried it since. It's just like running past enemies 3 times in a row and you're like, uh-oh. Yeah, that's not working out. I keep thinking about candy corn, you know? I like candy corn. You know what candy corn's made of though? It's made of like honey cornstarch and sugar. And I like candy corn because it just dissolves in your mouth and it's just kind of powdery. And I would assume, I've never tried fondant before, but I would assume that's what that tastes like. But like with fondant, you have, what the heck am I looking at? With fondant, it's made with like almond flour, right? So I guess it would taste like almonds. I've never tried it. To be fair, I don't think fondant is meant to be eaten, but apparently the British think so otherwise. I am looking at my stream information and it's like trick or treat challenge. Earn a spooky emote with your community. Just add the tag trick or treat and stream in at least one shared chat collaboration for 15+ minutes between now and October 31st. You'll unlock a new Halloween emote for you and your viewers. Oh, it opened up in another browser. And your stream might be featured on the front page. What shared chat collaboration? What is a shared chat collaboration? What is this? You know, it's like they have specific categories that pop up out of nowhere. I don't know what a shared chat is. Do you think I know what to look at? You think I know what a shared chat is? No. I do not. I don't know what a shared chat is. I barely know how to use Twitch, to be honest. Yeah, oh well. Ooh. You know how like Twitch has like certain events and categories? I literally never know when they happen. It'd be like, oh yeah, today is like happiness festival or whatever. I'm like, what is that? And then I go to the main page and everyone's streaming on that category. I'm like, what is this? They literally never advertise those. I don't know what it is. What kind of spooky emote are they gonna give me? What is this? Let me open it up. Twitch Fright Fest. You get a Dead by Daylight X Twitch Fright Fest emote. Radio mic badge, rose necklace badge, slimy slush badge. Goodies. Cool. The iconic Twitch killer charm. Twitch does events? Apparently, like there's one ongoing right now called the Twitch Trick or Treat Challenge or something. Hello. I didn't know that either. It's strange. It's odd. Very interesting. I never participate in this. I am so bad at interacting with people. I'm like really bad at networking, to be honest. Like okay, so you know how they recently announced that thing on Twitter, right? And then everyone was like, darn it, I'm gonna move to Blue Sky. So I made my Blue Sky account like a long time ago, right? I made it a long time ago. I just never actually used it. And now that more people are moving over, I decided to go over there to see what it was like. And then a bunch of people were like talking about it. It's so odd being on there and like not seeing a single ad. I'm like, oh my god. That's amazing. I don't think I've ever been on a piece of media that just doesn't have that doesn't have ads. But yeah, they I mean, the blocking thing, if you read into the terms and conditions on Twitch, Twitter. You it's basically the same exact thing as like when you block someone, they can still kind of see your stuff, but like they have to click to see it so that they know that like you block them, and then you have to click on it and be like, okay, I want to see their stuff. But like, what's the difference between them opening up another tab and like making another account, right? Making an account and then just looking at your stuff through a different account. Like, what's stopping them from doing that? especially if you have a public account. Like, anybody can see your stuff. So I don't really think there was a point to the whole blocking thing, because like being able to see block stuff, because so anyone could make an account out there and just make another account and then look at your stuff anyway. So that didn't really make sense to me. But social media doesn't sign their users up for AI. I don't know. It feels like every single thing out there right now is just going, ooh, look at this cool new AI feature that we're having. Look at this cool new AI feature that we're gonna show. NVIDIA, the graphics card company, is like, look at this cool AI feature that we're adding. You're a graphics card company. What AI do you need? I go on like Notion, right? Ooh, look at our cool new AI feature where we can summarize the stuff that you wrote and we can have like this thing that'll write for you. NVIDIA? How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce that? NVIDIA? 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 I don't know how to pronounce words, okay? NVIDIA, okay? NVIDIA. There. Better? What gets me though, like, it makes me really sad to see artists get accused of AI. You're back to square one. NVIDIA. What's wrong with NVIDIA? You know, where did my... NVIDIA. Why are they pronouncing it like that? Why do they pronounce it like that? Isn't it NVIDIA? Tech Bros. Who named it that? What the heck? Well, I mean, I've never heard anyone say it out loud. I personally I call it NVIDIA. Because that's how it's written. So some people out there saying NVIDIA, what the heck? Sorry. Ignore me. I'm taking my allergy medicine. Anyways, yeah, it makes me really sad when I see artists get accused of AI just because, like, they make a certain lighting choice or they draw in a certain style that a lot of AI artists like to copy. And then they get accused of AI and they're like, this hair strand looks weird. And they're like, well, I just sketched that. And then I feel like they do it on purpose too, because you know how they were using artists like work in progress like sketch videos to train AI into making those sketch videos as well, so that they could pretend that the AI robots were actually drawing, when you can like look at it and be like, no, that's definitely not it. I know the one person we're seeing on the beef. I don't know specifically which one, because there's a lot out there that happens, and I feel like instead of witch hunting people for AI, or in general witch hunting people for like absolutely no reason, to leave people alone, because like my stance on it, right, is that AI as somebody who, like, it can be a tool, right? I think it's perfectly fine as a tool. When it comes to creating like things that don't use other people's IPs, right? When it's not stealing other people's artwork. It can be fine as a tool when it's used in, like, let's say the animation industry, right? The animation industry where they use AI to make better mouth tracking, specifically in video games, or to like use it to calculate where the lighting is coming from in like this one specific fight scene. That's fine. But when they use it to take other people's art and they feed it into a specific algorithm to create things so that they can claim it as their own and pretend that they are a quote unquote artist, that is when it becomes a problem, because that's no longer just art, that's just stealing. The people who accuse of AR are the jealous artists who can't draw as well. It's not that. I feel like they do it on purpose because they want them to post the proof so that they can steal that. Because there was a period of time where people were going around taking sketches, right? They were taking sketches and they were feeding it into the algorithm so that they could like basically get away with like their AI themselves, because they could be like, oh, if someone accuses them of using AI, they can be like, oh no, here are the sketches. It's the same thing of like people who were like, I don't know, tracing over AI and then like showing the time lapse and being like, it's not AI, it's like I just draw in this certain way. And you're like, why the heck are they drawing each strand of hair and shading it at the exact same time? They would like go over the thing with an eraser and be like, I drew this, and you're like, I don't know about that. I don't know. It's like, it's just people who want to get away with like the easy path, right? I do that. You render each individual strand at the same time that you're coloring and doing a sketch at the same time. Like, no, like I don't mean like, you know, when you do something and then you go over it with a shadow and you color it, right? I mean, you take an eraser and then you move it down and then underneath it's just a perfectly rendered hairpiece for like out of nowhere. I don't color. Well, I'm talking about people who like do digital art and do that. And it's just kind of like, what the heck is going on there? And it's always like weird design choices too, because it's like, why did you choose to draw the background like that? It's kind of like weird looking. It just sucks. It just sucks like in a world where tech is prioritized over like actual art and doing things for the enjoyment of it. And ooh, did you guys see that post on Twitter that was talking about how like what is one art that AI cannot replicate, and it's a self-portrait. And they were talking about how it's like, it's really interesting because it's true, like an AI robot wouldn't be able to understand the concept of like self, because it would just generate a random person and it'd just be like, no, that's not like what it is itself. It's just some random person. And it just takes out the humanness of art. I don't know, I feel like it's just so sad to see too, because like when you see the effects all of this AI has on like nature and stuff, all the energy uses, all the deforestation, like we are cooked. We're so cooked. It's so sad. And when you see it like in every single thing, like places that have no business using AI, implementing it for no reason, like when you do a Google search, right? These are the AI summarized search results. They are bad. None of it is correct. I remember this one, what was it? The infamous cheese one, right? It was like, what was it? It was like, I forgot the search. It was something like, how do I make a cake? And then the thing was like, add cheese. They had a slice of cheese and they were like, what do you mean? I forgot what it was specifically, but it was something like that. And they were like, what? Where is it getting these information like, from? And it has no business being there, because according to their algorithm, they could have just improved their algorithm to the point where it just gives you your information. It already summarizes whatever you're looking for when it bolds, like, you know when you do a Google search, right? It bolds the letters for you. And then it's like, okay, these are your answers. We're gonna bold them in every single source. And then they've recently ruined it because they For a while they've ruined it because they kept adding all these ads at the beginning. You're like, no, I don't want to see these ads, these sponsored ads. I want to get to something that's going to give me an actual answer. But they're using all this resources. Do you know how much energy goes into a single AI search? Like, they're using all this energy, and you know where this energy is coming from? It's coming from, like, these giant power plants, and then it's using up, like, energy that just causes harm to the environment, and it's just really sad. And, like, also, I was seeing something, too. It was like, do kids not know how to roleplay anymore? They're just using character AI. And it's like, it's one thing too, because you'll see the exact same people. It's like, if you're gonna be against AI, be against AI on all fronts, not just art specifically, just against all arts, because you'll see these people going, I don't like AI art. I don't like AI images. But then they'll go over and use character AI. And it's like, that's so odd. That's interesting. That's such an interesting choice. Like, you go over and it takes a voice actor's words, specifically, like, they don't know how to roleplay. They don't do it anymore. They don't go on the forums. They're not like, they haven't lived through the trenches. Where was this time period when everybody went on Club Penguin and they would roleplay as like some depressed teenager? Right? I don't know, everybody goes through that phase. You haven't been on Real Estate before. Is that a website? I've never been. No, I used to go on the forums, you know? Do you remember? Like those, I don't know. The ones that I used to go on was like, what? Fantasy? I don't know the names. Like, there was like one specific, like, medieval fantasy roleplay website. It was fun. You got to pretend to be a warlock. It was like D&D, but like with 30,000 people. And it was fun because they had a bunch of rules and a bunch of moderators, and they were like, you cannot do this, you cannot metagame. It was fun. Or on, like, you know, the experience of going on Kick and joining a group chat with a bunch of strangers and just like being like, this is my OC. This is my OC. They are 34 years old. They are this tall. They have blue eyes and blonde hair. And they are a dwarf. And they have a majestic beard. Right? Do you not remember that? That experience? Do kids not do that anymore? Instead, they go into like character AI and they talk to Bakugo. Like, do people not make Twitter accounts anymore? They don't make Twitter accounts where they used to roleplay as certain characters? They used to make Twitter accounts and Tumblr accounts, and they used to be like, this is Midoriya. No, I actually didn't. I mean, I've never had an MLP phase, but I have watched this show. I think the first 2 seasons were really good. Okay, the world building is really nice. I watched the original MLPs, My Little Pony, back when it was like the 1990s cartoon styles. Oh gosh, they all look weird. I had the little figurines too. They look so different. Made of like really hard plastic. Yeah, the horse ones. But no, I have not have a MLP phase. I've never created an MLP, what's it called? Like OC or whatever. I have not done that. I like the characters. I think they're really well written. I think the story is pretty interesting, like the world building and all that. Like, none of it made sense half the time. I think, like, looking back on it, it's like, why did that happen? Or like, that doesn't make sense, but you just rolled with it because the story was compelling. They had really like interesting characters. It's like the characters that. What characters did you roleplay? I did not roleplay like characters existing. I roleplayed like my own OCs. I made a bunch of OCs. It was kind of like D&D, you know? I have this one OC. He is an elf. He has a whole backstory. Did you know that? He is the son of a merchant and a retired military officer. And he likes reading books. Yeah. Were these roleplays family friendly? Yeah, they were. I just like roleplaying as guys. I had a period in my life where I just never played as any girl characters because back then, I think it was just more fun to play as a guy. Because, you know, like most people who roleplayed were girls, right? So it like, you feel like you're popular. Hi, welcome. Thank you for the follow. You know, I gotta feel I was like an F-boy. But yes, they were family friendly. No, I did not do like R18 stuff. The most that I think I've ever done was just like you stand on a bed and then you just jump up and down. And then you like, you know, you fade to black. You're like, whatever. No, I was never the kind of person to be like, I put my hands in their pants. Or like, I don't know, character name puts their hand in their pants. And they look at them in the eye and they go, wow, I'm so excited for tonight. It is text. You know, you do text like... You do text in first person, do you not? Who in the world does it like third person? That's kind of weird. You got it, like, you have to do it in quotation marks though so that they know it's like a character. But I never really roleplayed that seriously. I was just more in for it for like just watching people. Wait, jump on the bed. I don't know. What? You know, do you not want to jump on the bed? Isn't it not fun to jump on the bed? Like, come on guys, let's all hold hands and we're gonna jump on the bed together. We're gonna like jump on the bed. You know what's so fun when you go to a hotel and they have two beds and you get to jump across the beds, like one and a, like you stand on the bed and you jump across to the bed and you like jump back. We saw what happened to the three little monkeys. No, but like it's fun. If you know where you're landing, right? You can avoid that. The reason why the three little monkeys fell off the bed is because there was three of them and they were pushing each other. If you are just by yourself and you know how you're gonna stick a landing, you can just jump. You can jump. Or you can do a little somersault. It's fun. And also you're not falling that far if you do fall. Not that I ever have, but like if you ever did fall, it's not like you're going very much far. They have carpet in the hotels. Anyways, do you not enjoy jumping on beds? How old are you? I think we all can have a little whimsy in our lives and just enjoy jumping on beds. At what point do you get to a certain age where you're like, I'm grown. I'm grown, I'm old, and I'm no longer gonna jump on the bed. Guys, my birthday was 3 days ago. I am 123. I'm 154. I'm 378. I'm kidding. I'm 1003. Anyways, I'm old, right? Not old, but like I'm old. I still jump on the bed from time to time. I jump on the couch. Isn't that fun? Is it fun to just stand on a piece of furniture and be like, I feel so tall right now? Do you not enjoy that? Do you not enjoy going in the ball pit? I sometimes... Holy shit, it's real. Yes. Do you not enjoy going to the playground? I too. I am not tiny. I am not tiny. I am what? I'm like 5'2". I am 157 centimeters. I'm like 5'2" and a half. That's not tiny. That's average height for a lady. That is average height. I am not tiny. If any of you guys call me short, if any of you guys call me short, I will decapitate your knees. If you guys call me short, I'm gonna decapitate your knees. I am not short. Bro. Man. This is average height for people. I'm like taller than most people. I will kick you in the knees. I will stand behind you. I will stand behind you and kick you in the back of the knees. You will kneel. Anyways. You're just jealous that you can't go to the playground and you can't go down the slide because you hit your head on the roof. You have to lie down going down slides, okay? You can barely go down slides because by the time you get to the bottom, your head hits the top of the slide. You go down a slide and your feet touch the bottom of the slide and your head touches the top of the slide. You cannot enjoy slides. At least I can get a stool. You cannot reduce height. I can wear heels, I can wear platform shoes, I can get a stool. You cannot take away height. You will have issues when you go to Japan and you stand in their tiny little showers and hit your head on the shower head. You walk into a door that is slightly shorter than normal and you hit your head. You crane your neck when you stand in the subway. You have to duck going under doors. You cannot go in the hobbit hole. No, the average height is not 5'4". The average height's like 5'3". I am like a little bit under. Maybe I do have 4-inch heels. You don't know that. Maybe I do. Maybe I have 4-inch heels at all times. Maybe I'm like 5'6" at all times. I wear 4-inch tall platform boots. I mean, to be fair, my shoes do give me like an inch of height. 4 inches be stilts. You get used to it, you know? You get used to it. I used to walk around with wedges. Like wedge heels that are maybe, I don't know, 2.5 inches. I'm not 5 feet, I'm taller than that. I'm actually taller than like half my friends. My friends are just very tiny. I have a friend who's like 4'11". I stand and I'm taller than most people. I'm taller than most of my coworkers. I'm taller than most of my friends. It's only some people who are my friends who are like 5'6", 5'8", that they are taller than me. My other friends are just very short. So I am average. I'm in the middle. I'm actually quite tall compared to them. I think you guys are just too tall. What are you, like 6 feet? If I have to be around somebody who's 6 feet tall, I am not looking up. I will just not look up. Guys, gamers don't look up. Gamers don't look up. See, isn't it a struggle being tall? You guys can't ride in the little sugar cube cars. You know the little teeny tiny cars with like only one front row seat and barely a back seat? And they're like cubes. Those are cute cars. I don't know how comfortable they are though. I've never seen them. You know what also sucks? Sports cars. Sports cars with only one door. You have to fold down the front seat to get in the back. I have been in cars like that and I'm like, why would you design this car like this? And being in that thing is scary. Because they go from 0 to 100 so fast, you just sit there and then you can feel yourself being pressed into the back seat. You're like, ugh. Why would they remove the doors? At least add a window. You can crawl in through the window or something. Where did I get in a car like that? I have a friend whose siblings' partner has that car. It is a neon green sports car with one door on each side, and it kind of sucks. I have no idea. The dude owned a yacht. The dude owned a boat. I do not question where people get their things. I just kind of go, huh. Do they swing up? No, they don't. They just kind of like open to the side. But yeah, it was a weird car. I was like, what is this thing? Also, the backseat was tiny. See, another perk of being short. Another perk of having short legs. Not really short legs, but like, you know, being smaller. I get to enjoy legroom, guys. I get to go on the plane and I am comfortable in economy. I do not have my feet crushed. I can fit in most sports supercars. When you go over a speed bump, does your head touch the roof? Those cars aren't exactly family cars. That's true. For some reason, the seats tend to be really low too. Like they're low, like low to the ground. Those cars are super low. They can't go over bumps. Like you have to really slowly go over bumps. I've watched them. They kind of struggle with that. And if anything higher than a curb, they struggle because that's how low to the ground they are. Yeah, it sucks for them. They go fast, but not very well. Not very well over curbs. How did we get on this topic? What the heck? You can buy one with air suspension. Ooh. I do not know enough about cars. Listen, I don't know anything about cars. I recently had to look up what a manual transmission was, and I can explain to you guys what a manual transition is. Would you like me to explain how a manual transition works? I find it quite fascinating. So you have different gears, right? You have the gear stick. The gear stick moves the position of this one gear. So when you have an active rotation, right? Your thing spins. Yeah, hi Sarza. The axle spins from the engine. It's constantly spinning when the engine is on, but only when it's engaged when you put the gear from the manual stick shift into the slot, then it starts spinning the actual wheel, and that is what makes the car go. So when you take it out and you switch gears, it switches different types of rotations and different sizes that spin into that rotating engine. Isn't that cool? So you got like a different kind of series of wheels. Anyways, I don't know what a neutral does in a car. I have to look that up. But yes, my favorite website is howstuffworks.com. It's a late stream, yes. I feel like I need to go to bed. Neutral just means it's just removed. Oh, neutral just when no gear is engaged. Wow, I did not know you guys were car experts. Next time I have car issues, I will go to chat. I will be like, hey guys, how do I change oil? That's a very normal thing. Okay, but like, how am I supposed to know what's going on inside a car? What do I drive? I have a normal car. I have like a very old Subaru. That's not my car, it's my grandparents', but I drive their car. That car has been in 2 accidents, not mine. Not my accidents, but they have been in issues. Make? I don't know. Subaru? Is it a Forester Outback? What is that? What company are those? No beefing in chat, guys. No fighting. If you guys fight, I'm putting you guys in the timeout corner. I will make a timeout corner. I will, like, put you guys. Yeah. I'm not gonna let you say that, Sarza. We are not gonna use that word. No using that word. Okay, we're not gonna be mean to each other here. We're gonna be nice and civil. Because this is a place for intelligent discussion. We are not gonna... We're not gonna devolve back into, like, children calling each other insults on the playground, okay? No, he was not saying mean things about the other person. He was calling himself dumb. No, they were calling themselves dumb. Sarza was calling himself dumb, not calling you dumb. We're not gonna mention that word. Okay? We're not gonna fight. I feel like I'm like preschool teacher. I feel like I'm back in like when I used to work as a kids counselor. During like summer camps, I used to be like, come on guys, stop fighting, we're gonna color, yay! Wow. I'm debating allowing that word. Fine. We allow the word MILF. I'm not a MILF. Why is that a source? No words that are insults, okay? I think MILF can be a compliment. That's not a mean word. We're not gonna fight here. If you guys need to fight, like, do it privately. Like, DM each other or something. DM each other. We have my water. Oh my god, I forgot to have my... Yes, Sarza MILF. Okay? Take it as a compliment. Man, I like fries. Okay? Man, I love fish. Right? Oh boy, I love fishing. Do you guys like fishing? I like fishing. No, I don't like fishing IRL, but like I like fishing in video games. I like looking at fish specifically. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't go. I like what's it called? You know those really old fish games where you could like throw? You could tap the screen and then they would put like fish food in the water and you could like multiply your fish. I still like play those games when I was bored. It was fun. Those are the kind of games that you get when you're bored and you play for maybe an hour and then you delete it afterwards and you think to yourself, well, that was kind of a waste of time, but it was kind of fun. No, you've never had that? You've never seen those ads out there that are like, oh my god, look at this game. It's so like dumb and horrible. I cannot pass this game, I'm so dumb. And then you click on it and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna get this game. I am like the most I am like the worst person because I will download every single game that I see. Like if I find it interesting enough, I'll like click on it and I'll download it. Like the ads, you know, the ad games, like the really horrible ad games that give you ads every 15 seconds. I'll be like, you know what, I will download it. So if you're wondering, when they say 15 million downloads, that is me. I am one of those downloads. At least one. Horrible experience, by the way. No, not... It's not on the PC, it's on mobile. It's on my phone. It's not on PC. I don't download viruses. It's not on PC, it's on mobile. It's specifically on my phone. And it's fine because, you know, the only thing I do on my phone is also visit sketchy websites, but I read manga, right? I read manga on these like websites and it's like, ooh, 10 million ads. That's just what you get. I have normal ads too, like, right? I have Webtoon. I have what, Manga Reader. I used to have, what's it called? Manga Rock? Manga Rock is so old, I think they discontinued their service. They're called, what? Inker now? Ink Manga? I don't know. Something like that. Crunchyroll manga. Or, you know, you could be like me and download manga from Reddit. They have the PDFs on Reddit. Manga Rock dumped by Cover Team 5 years ago. Yeah, I was so sad. I had so many on there that I was reading and I like my library's on there. My library's on there. And I was reading a bunch. And I don't remember like half the ones that I was in the middle of reading, but I will once in a while come across them and be like, I feel like I've read this. Yeah. Do you guys not download manga off of Reddit? Like they'll be like, oh, I have the PDF, like chapters 1 to 5. Does Itachi Yomi is a hub that scrapes your manga updates from sites? No? No, what do you mean? You guys not like join Discords? You can not join Discords for manga updates and they post like chapters in the Discord. They post the link to like Tumblr or like even the individual pages. Yeah. I've done that for like doujins. Yeah. Specifically for like small fandoms. Like I've done it for what, the Hypnosis Mic fandom. I am part of one of the Hypnosis Mic translator discords. Where they yeah. The like the, you know, the really abstract JP fandoms that no one knows about because it's not mainstream and everybody only cares about the newest chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. And all I want to know is like, did the characters on Hypnosis Mic make it okay out of the battle? Did they win? They translate on Discord and Reddit. On Tumblr too. Not just Discord or Reddit, it's Tumblr. Or Facebook. Sometimes you'll find stuff on Facebook. You gotta get really good at searching. Or you can search it in Japanese. And then you can... Back in the trenches when like no translators were on things, you had to screenshot every single page and then put it through Google Translate on a photo. That's what I used to do for like manga. Not manga, but like, you know, self-drawn manga from artists, like when you're on Twitter and then the JP artist would post like a little comic and you're like, I have no idea what they're saying, but I kind of want to see. And it's cute! It's like fan art comics. Although the mistranslation was wild. It was like... Doesn't make sense. I have 90% Google Translate. Photos was after translation teams. I feel like translation teams use Google Translate because sometimes translation teams aren't the best. They're run by like a team of like 3 people and they're all 13-year-olds. And then you have like a bunch of issues where everyone's just like, oh my god, stop stealing my translations. And then they would just like beef. There would just be constant internal like wars where they would go out of their way to put the ugliest, largest watermark on their translations because they were like, stop stealing my translations. I mean, if it's like the most recent chapter, you know, you just might as well read it because you want to know the context, but even if it's bad. But I haven't done that in a while because I'm lazy, so now what I do, I read fan fiction. I read fan fiction. I read fan fiction the most diabolical way, by the way. What I do is I will go to a specific tag. I won't even go to fandoms because I don't like certain fandoms. I will go and I will sort by like genre. I'll be like, you know what? I want to read like a cool. I want to read a fanfic about supernatural vampires. I want to read a vampire and werewolf. I want to read a vampire werewolf fanfiction, and then I'll go and look up like supernatural AUs. And then I'll go out and then I'll filter like every single fandom that I don't want to interact with. So I'll be like, DSMP, no. RPF, no. F1 racing, no. And on and on. And then like whatever I'm fine with, I just don't care, I'll just read it. I'd be like, who the heck are these characters? I don't know. And then you know what? I just use my imagination. I'll be like, pretend like I'm reading an actual book because I know nothing about these characters. I know nothing about these characters. I know nothing about what they look like. I'm not gonna look what they look like because the last time I did, I was majorly disappointed. Like, what was it? There's this one very large ship with, what's his name? This fandom, like Teen Wolf or something. I looked up one of the characters and I was like, man, my immersion is ruined. Why did they look like that? Why is that the #1 ship is like a character who has a shaved head? Not that I have anything against shaved heads, it's just different what it looked like in my own head. And I was really sad. I was like, man, what the heck? But yes, F1 racing and RPF hockey are like two of the most largest fandoms for some reason. I think the number one largest, no, not largest, the number one most word count, not including that one DSMP fic, which is just crack. Like, they just post like 50 million AU tags and it's none of it's filtered. They just write like absolutely horrible like posts and none of the chapters are related to them. Not including that one DSM fic, but the second most is a F1 racing an F1 racing ongoing like over 14 million word chapter fanfic between these two F1 racers. And it's still ongoing because I read it. I read the first chapter. It's so slow. It's like reading a documentary. It's like Alex Frontera. I don't even know that's their guy's name. Like, Alex goes across the kitchen and he brews a pot of coffee and he turns and looks at, I don't know, Sam. And he goes, "Are you excited for the race?" And it just, they don't even have anything about racing. They spend the first chapter talking about breakfast and going about their morning routine. Nothing happens and it just goes on and on. I'm like, do people read this? It's so long. Like, it's literally a documentary. It's a text written documentary about their lives. They just keep going on and on about it. It's like, oh my god, this is the slowest burn ever. They don't even get together, they're just friends. And they stay friends for the longest time. It's literally reading a documentary. It's like reading somebody's diary, but like watching it. You're literally a third person watching them go about their day-to-day life. And it's the most boring thing ever. It's so slow. It's like, do we need 3 paragraphs describing how they butter their toast? No, but it's there. It's well written, actually. It's really well written. I don't know why. It's well written like an actual novel, but it's just so long. You read fanfics, manga, and roleplay, you've got an interesting history. Like, history as an internet search history, or like past? I am currently reading a K-pop fanfic. It's interesting. I think with K-pop there's a certain like amount of disbelief where you know that none of the characters that they portray are real, because they're not like some random person off the street, right? They're like, they have a persona. They can be separated. Internet history? I don't know, I don't think so. I mean, there was a time where I used to like catfish people for fun. There was a period of time where I used to catfish people, and there was also a period of time where I accidentally like catfished somebody. And then there was also another period of time where I did it on purpose. And then there was another time where I almost got into like being a sugar baby online. No, I wouldn't catfish as a girl. I catfish as a guy. There was a time where I was like, I almost did it, but then I was like, you know what? This feels like a scam, so I'm not gonna do it. And then I would watch people, like, you know, I would join Discord servers, right? And I would see people who were younger than me get scammed by the exact same people. They're like, guys, by the way, if you ever want to like catfish somebody and somebody says, by the way, I'll give you $5,000, but you have to give me $20 first, that is a scam. And I watched so many people fall for that. And I know in my head, how many such female says? Because I've got massive amounts of Riz. I've got massive amounts of Riz. I knew somebody online who used to have like I don't know, like supernatural experiences. It was weird. Yes, it's my absolute, like, people would believe that I was a guy. And then I would have like I would have like a little group of like kids. Cause you know what, it's easy. You just lie on the internet. You just lie. They're like, how old are you? I am a 25-year-old guy in college. I'm studying astronomy and engineering. Right? And I could come up with a backstory in like 3 seconds, you know? Oh man, I just went to my class today at 10 a.m. and then now I got home and now I'm just I'm gonna go play Valorant. Yeah, I'm not doing anything much. Yeah, how are you? Right? And it would go on for like days. So I was not a good person back then. I was kind of toxic low-key because I would be like, yeah, I'm just gonna ghost this person after a while. Don't be me, don't do that. Like, I think I was kind of toxic. I would go and make friends on the internet, pretend to be a guy, and then I would like ghost people. Maybe they were a guy. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. We catfish each other, that's how it works. I did that, but as a woman. I know people too who did that. They would pretend to be girls. They like people on Minecraft specifically, they would wear like girl skins on Minecraft and change their name to something like really girly, like, I don't know, cute girl 500XXX. Just catfish each other. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't do it to like catfish people on purpose. I did it because I didn't want to be like perceived online. Because when you're a guy, it's so easy to just be ignored by every other person. When you're a girl, you have people coming up to you all the time. Especially if you're minding your own business, it's always just stuff like, hey, do you want to like form a party together? Do you want to do this? And then you're like, no, I want to be left alone. I want to like do my own thing. I want to run in circles. I want to run in circles. I want to like go wherever I want. I don't want to follow you around or drag somebody around with me, you know? That's why I pick usernames that are very gender neutral. Like, my name right now, pretty gender neutral, right? Kyo can be a girl name, can be a guy name. That's why I like my name. I like my name. It's very gender neutral. Kyo can actually be a guy name. So, I like names that are gender neutral. But yes, I don't know, I feel like I've gotten past that point now because like I just don't care anymore. So it's like, I think I'm like, I've grown as a person where now I'm just kind of like, I want to look cute in games. And female characters have better options. And now that there's more female players in games in general, I feel fine because I'm fine like existing as a girl on the internet. But in the past, when it was mostly male dominated, it was not fun to be like the one female character in a sea of just mostly guys. And when there were another female character, like 9 times out of 10 it was a dude. And I feel like guys have the same reason too, that guys want to like play girl characters, because guy characters don't have very much clothing options compared to girls. Like girls, when you play as a girl character in games, you have such cute skirts, you can wear like all these like outfits, and then you guy, pants, shirt, bag. It's so sad. So Like back then it was just because I just wanted to be left alone, but nowadays I think it's fun. I think it's more fun. Girl character, how would I choose to look at a dude for hours? Exactly. I feel like that was a reason where like a lot of characters guy did play as girls. But like you could tell when a guy is playing as a girl character because of the way that they act. Like they act, or like they just do things in a certain way and you're like, that's probably a dude. I have got it. I can tell. I've got like a sixth sense now. But yes, that's what I did back then. But I don't think it's anything like wild. Like, I think most people did that back then, especially like female gamers. Because oh my, like either there was like no in between. You would either get like followed or you would get harassed. And it was like, it was fine dealing with people who would follow you and like they would give you stuff. But at some point you're just kind of like, you know, I'm just like, oh, I just want to do my own thing. I played Minecraft once as I played Minecraft once, like long time ago on a survival server. People just give you stuff for no reason. If you have like if you just have like an average kind of like general name, and then you know, like a girl skin, and then they're like, oh my god, here you go, like 64 stacks of diamonds, and you're like, no. And then it doesn't make the game fun anymore, because then you're like, well, if I'm just gonna get stuff on easy mode, like what the heck. You just take the fun out of playing. GF3. Oh my god, I remember when that was a thing. I remember when people would like say in the world chat, the global chat, looking for GF. I'll buy you things. Looking for GF. Looking for GF M16M. And then you would get the trolls too that would go, I'm 16F. And they would DM each other. I catfish so many nerds on RuneScape. I've never played RuneScape. What is that game? Oh. Oh my god, the graphics look so crunchy. What is this? It's like World of Warcraft, but like worse, like Wizard 101. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I've grown. I have better things to do. I have better things to do other than like, I don't know, messing with people. Now I do it IRL. I do it IRL. I don't need to do it through a video game. I can just send people. I can be a menace IRL. Like, why would I do it online when I can do it in person? That's why I'm a streamer. I do it for the plot. You gotta do it. Or like for fun, you know? Like the amount of times are you catfishing a dating ass? No. On Reddit. You know, when you're like, okay, I think this is not like #1 way to probably get murdered, but like there was this one time where I was on my like this Reddit in this area where I lived, and then they were talking about like meeting up with random strangers, so I replied to this one person and I was like, hey dude, let's meet up. And then like it was really spontaneous too. They were like, meet me at this place right now in 15 minutes, and I said okay, and so I went there. Anyways, it was fine. I didn't get killed. It was really boring though. It was like, I think the worst, like the most boring, I don't know, meetup IRL I've ever had in my life, because we sat there. We went to a boba, like a fruit tea shop, right? We sat there at the table for like at least an hour, and the only thing that we talked about was housing prices. The dude talked about housing prices for half an hour straight, and I was like, oh my god, this is boring. Like, I don't need to know about real estate, but okay. And it was like, it was insane. He knew about like the housing prices, and it was like I was talking to a realtor, literally. He would sit there and he'd be like, oh yeah, that building down the street, the prices are like this much, and then they have, it's a pretty good deal. They have like an LDK with like a really good bathroom. And then the one down the street, that's a recently new building. It was built in like 2020, and it like got like all this stuff and then amenities, and it also has a gym and a front door reception. And then the other one down the street is a little bit more expensive, but they've got a front guard and it's safe. And then the other one down the street, it's got an elevator, but it doesn't have a gym. And I was like, why do you know so much about the real estate in this area? It was not a good experience. I was debating leaving, but at the same time I was like, you know what? I don't know where else this is going, but maybe it's gonna be interesting. Anyways, guys, do you want to know what my plans are for like this? You guys want to know what my plans are for this December? I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go online. I'm gonna go on Tinder specifically. I'm gonna go on Tinder and I'm gonna go like meet up with random people for fun. I don't do it like for the sake of hooking up, but I just do it for the sake of like meeting people. And then being like, I just sit there and I come up with like the randomest stories for myself. I'll use not even a real name. I'll go and I'll be like, yeah, my name's Cindy. I'm Cindy. I study anthropology and I go to like a completely different school. I moved here from Texas. Isn't that fun? You know? When you go to like some random place and then you meet somebody and the temptation to just be like, I'm gonna come up with a completely random story. I'm gonna come up with a completely random backstory for myself. I feel like a criminal. You know, when you're bored, you're like, I'm never gonna see this person ever again. This isn't catfishing, this is gaslighting, I know. It's manipulation. It's just lying. You describe my college professor's wife. Like, I had this thing where I was like, I had a plan. I was gonna go out, I was gonna get a tattoo. You know, I have like bucket list goals, right? So one of my bucket list goals was I was gonna go out, I was gonna get a tattoo of something really random. I was gonna put it in a really obvious place, right? Like, not obvious that you would see it in everyday life, but like, you know, when you're out at a club or at a bar and you like, you have like a dress, right? And it shows the tattoo, like on your collarbone or whatever. And they go, oh my gosh, that's such a cool tattoo. What does it mean? And then I would just start sobbing. My plan was I would start sobbing and I'd be like, this is a memento of my dead husband. He was a marine biologist and he died at sea. He died 3 years ago. We got married when we were 16. This is the only memory I have of it. It's a tattoo made with his blood. Okay, the purpose is to like just come up with the most devastating backstory to the point where they're like, what is wrong with them? They always ask what's outside in, but never else outside. What the heck does that mean? I don't know what that means. But yes, that was my plan. I was gonna go to a bar and I was gonna do that. Listen, when you are at bars, right? As a girl, you have people who approach you for like random reasons. So you might as well take advantage of it. You might as well have fun. Actually, there was this one time I was in Korea, right? I went to a club. I was hanging out. There was like 2 floors at this club, right? On the second floor, that's where the VIP tables were. I was chilling. Like I sat on the railing. I was like sitting on the corner, looking down over like the little overhang of like watching people dance down there. And this like group of guys come over and they tap me on the shoulder and they're like, "Would you like to join us at our VIP table?" And I was with a group of friends and I was like, this is really awkward that they singled me out of all my friends. Anyways, I was like, sure, if they can come too, and we sat there for a little bit and I was like, you know what, this is kind of boring. And like, by the way, none of us spoke the language except for like one other person. I didn't speak Korean. They didn't speak English. We spoke through Google Translate the entire time. It was awkward. And by the way, I have a selfie. I took a picture with them. It was really funny. I sent it to my friends. I was like, I've got like 3 guys sitting around me in a circle, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a picture. Fun stories. Anyways, after that, I just kind of got up and I left. I was like, it's not very fun anymore. Nothing's going on. All they wanted to do was just ask me about like, are you dating anybody? How old are you? Like, what are you doing here in Korea? I was like, school. Also, really weird fact about Korea too is that when you mention that you go to a specific school, they all go, ooh. There's also this one time where I was on the street, I was like walking somewhere, and then some like old lady came up, like, you know, like elderly auntie comes up to you. She like grabs me by the arm and she starts talking to me really fast in Korean, and I'm like, I have no idea what she's saying. Like, genuinely, I did not understand what she was saying, but I feel like she was trying to recall me, like, to a cult or something, because they have those in Korea. But I will never know because I don't understand Korean. Fun times. See, the reason why I go out and I do these things is because I'm bored. And I feel like I need to meet more people. I need to like touch grass. I need to experience things, right? You can experience things when you're online, but I don't feel like it's the same as like meeting people. Like IRL. So it's always an interesting time. I have lots of stories about the times that I've just met up with random people. I guess don't do what I do, because like I feel like at some point I'm just gonna get like stabbed. I lie to people IRL. I need to touch grass because listen, I can do both. I can gaslight and gatekeep and manipulate. Listen, I can touch grass and I can lie to people too, right? I can go out and I can touch grass and I can meet random people on the street. I will go, listen, social phobia fears me. Social phobia fears me. I will do dances in the middle of the mall. I'll do Fortnite dances in the middle of the mall. I will run up to people. I will run across the street to tell somebody I like their hairstyle, okay? I will... I have done that. I've walked behind people and literally tapped them on the shoulder and went, "Oh my gosh, I like the pins in your bag." And they go, "Oh cool, yeah." I'm not like, I have this one friend though who does get into conversations about these random people that come up to her. No, I have a friend who's worse because they'll go up to her and they'll give her random things for absolutely no reason. My friend will text me and she'll be like, this random guy on the subway gave me a stuffed animal, and she sends a photo of it and it looks like a hand sewn, the most dirty doll you've ever seen in your life. And I tell her, that looks so sketchy, throw it away. And she's like, no, but some random dude gave it to me. I was like, throw it away, it looks so sketchy and creepy, what is that? So, at least it's not like that. I am not 14. Listen, it's called having, I don't know. It's called having fun and whimsy in your life. What is the point of going out in person if you're not gonna like look at people and compliment their cool shirts? Right? Okay, by the way, I met this one person on like an online dating website, right? Because I don't go on them for like dating purposes because I'm not really interested in romance and stuff like that. I'm like, I just go on there to meet people for fun. So I messaged this one person on there. I don't know how she's doing. She was cool. I messaged this one girl. And I messaged her like the emoji of like the two fingers touching. And I was like, you're really pretty. Do you want to maybe, hey. We messaged each other. I got her number, by the way. We're mutuals on Instagram. At some point she like stopped talking to me, but that's okay. I have other friends. But yes, this is how I make friends, honestly. It just my unabashed like ability to just go up to strangers and be like, you know what? I like your bag. That's how I've made all my friends. Every single one of my friends, they all tell me, they're like, yeah. I came up to them. I said something really random. And then now we're friends. They're like, oh, how did you guys become friends? And they're all like, yeah. Kyo ran up to me. This random girl ran up to me. They looked at me and they said, I like your socks or something. And I was like, yep. I don't remember that happening, but apparently it did. I do remember I have this one specific memory of like this person. They were reading in the hallway. They were standing against a wall. They were reading in the hallway and I literally walked up to them. I like leaned down so that I could look at the cover of the book. I literally like leaned over like that, looked upside down at the cover and went, oh, you're reading this book? I've read that book too. How do you like it so far? And that's how we became friends. So, guys, you gotta have this kind of confidence in your life. You gotta have like, you've gotta have the courage and, I don't know. Don't be afraid of people. Just go up to random people and just be like, I like this thing. That's really cool. Because, you know, people like talking about themselves. People like talking about themselves. People like, I don't know, talking about their interests. And when you ask people about things that they might enjoy or that they do, that's just a really easy way to like make friends. You know? You just go to somebody like, oh my gosh, that's a really cute sweater. And then maybe they'll be like, oh cool, I thrifted it. And be like, oh my gosh, where? And they'd be like, oh, from this place. That's a really cool, like, I've never been there before. Have you ever found any other cool finds? Maybe we should go thrifting together and that's how you make friends. Right? Hobbies. I do not recommend like doing this to random like strangers. like completely random strangers, you gotta have like at least some semblance of like knowing them. Because like if you're on like a place where you know like people are there and like whatever, but if you're in like some place downtown, like obviously I wouldn't go up to somebody. Okay, maybe not. I was gonna say like maybe I don't go on public transportation and tell people I like their bag, but I feel like I have done that at some point. I'm like that elderly person on the bus that just goes up to people and be like, oh my gosh, I remember that. I am that elderly person on the bus, I guess. I sit on the bus with my Walkman and my book. And then I people watch. I sit at the park. I feed birds. Maybe I am an old lady. I walk to the park. I sit on the bench. I used to roll down hills too. I feel like when's the last time I rolled down a hill for fun? Maybe like 3 years ago? I haven't been near a hill in a while, so I have not rolled down a hill because I don't live near areas with hills, but I was gonna say, like, do snow mountains count as hills? Probably not. Like, when's the last time I rolled down like a little nice grassy hill in the summer? I don't remember. I have climbed to the top of like a snow pile before. Those are fun. You know when you're like really bored at 3 a.m. at night and you climb and it's like snowing outside and then the trucks like pile up a bunch of snow and you climb to the top and you stand there and you're like, man, I can see the roof. I can see the roof of that building. Very tall. Very cool. Very fun. You just sit up there and you're like, man, I'm cold. I used to do weird things for like absolutely no reason. I used to, like when it snowed, I used to just lie there in the fresh snow in the morning, walking to school. I used to just lie there. I would get to school early. I would lie there in the school, like right in the front of the school. Like I would lie on the school lawn. And people would walk past me as they're going to class and they're like, what is wrong with this girl? And I'm like, I just lay here. Would you lie with me and just forget the stars? Dun, 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 dun. That's what I used to do. I would just lie there, chasing cars. You know, there's nothing quite like lying there in the middle of a snowfield with the snow falling gently on your face and melting on your cheeks as you lie in the middle of a snowfield. In your winter jacket all nice and warm. And just feeling snow fall on your face and the sky's white and there's barely any sun. And the skies are gray. It's snowing gently. Very relaxing, very peaceful. I would recommend it. It's so quiet too. The snow is an insulator. You lie there and it's quiet and you just listen to just the wind. I want to go back. I miss the snow. I used to also just go outside in the rain too. Like whenever it rained really hard, I would go outside in my clothes and I'd be like, I'm gonna go outside in the rain. I'm gonna go outside in the rain and get rained on. For fun, you know. I would go outside in my flip-flops and then I would go and get rained on and get all wet. Or, you know, go outside with an umbrella. I would take pictures. Not pictures, but like I used to do like photography. Like my favorite thing to do, like way back then when I used to do photos was I used to take pictures of, like I really like taking pictures of water droplets on plants. So like I would go out and I would look at like water droplets on flowers, water droplets on grass, and I would take pictures of them. Or I would take pictures of like the rain frozen on branches or stuff like that. I don't think I have those photos anymore, but that was nice. I had like camera rolls just filled with photos of like stuff. And it makes it so much more fun, you know, when you like look at things up close and you get to appreciate like, oh, look at this ant or this cool bug. I spent hours just staring at gardens. Like staring at like snails and all that stuff. Very fun. Or like I would go in and I'd find like random rocks and I would lift them and I'd be like, worms. I was so sad though, like in the place where I used to live, there was no worms. Like worms don't exist in that country for some reason. It was really weird. I would go out and I'm like, where are the worms? I've like literally never seen a worm in the wild. They just don't exist. And one time it was raining outside. After it had rained, I was like standing there and I was looking at the grass and it was like drizzling too because I was going home. And it was like drizzling, kind of raining, but like, you know, it was enough that it wasn't like super raining. I wasn't getting wet. But I was standing there looking at the sidewalk and the grass and I was like, where are the worms? What the heck? Where's everything? And some person comes by because they were also walking home and they looked at me and they were like, are you looking for something? Did you lose something? And I looked at her and I was like, there are no worms. Like, there are no worms here. There are no worms. Where are the worms? And she looked at me and she was like, what? She's like, did you lose something? I was like, no, I'm just looking for worms. I must have looked really weird too because I was holding a stick and I was like, worms. Ah, so sad. I'm so sad. I don't know worms anymore. Now the only thing that I see are just... I haven't even seen an inchworm in years. All I see are ants. I see ants and snails. Man. And mosquitoes. I see a lot of flies. So sad. So sad. I don't even remember half the stuff I used to do. You ever have those moments where you're like sitting there? Oh my god, I was gonna play a game today. I was like, you know what? I was gonna play You and Nikki today, but then I was gonna play You and Nikki and then I like oh boy, I got like so into like talking. I was going to play You and Nikki today. I was like, I'm gonna play You and Nikki for an hour, and here I am like 2 hours later just talking. I had this one thing too, like, you know, at the very beginning of the stream I was saying, how long can I go talking about something by myself? Like, how long can I just talk and not run out of things to say? I don't know. I need to like stay on topic. Like I don't know why, but I cannot stay on like one single topic for longer than a minute. And I've tried to fix it, but it really doesn't help. You're still going strong. Listen, I could probably, I don't know how long. Do you want to make a bet? Okay, I'm not gonna do it today, but like someday in the future, right? If I ever do a subathon, I'm gonna see how long I can just go straight, just talking. Just doing absolutely nothing, but just talking. Nothing, no games. We're just gonna sit here and talk like a podcast for, I don't know, 8 hours straight. Clearly, I don't need any help. I'm not like other streamers, I don't play games. I just talk. And I always think to myself, like, man, I should play games. I really want to play games. Like, I want to play Human Nikki. I want to play Voices of the Void. It's Halloween. It's spooky month. I want to play horror games. And here I am. Here I am just docking. It's so sad. Wait a minute. You know, out of like a list of skill sets that I've always wanted to learn, I think coding would probably be the most useful, because you know how many things use coding? Like, I wanted to create... Okay, I had this one thought, right? It was a very convoluted thought. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out of my way. I'm gonna put so much effort into this, but then I realized it's kind of dumb. So, there is this app on the iPad, right? I draw on my iPad. There is this app called PureRef. And all it is just something that you can upload photos to, and you can resize photos, and you can just have it in the background on the side as a second, like, little, you can side screen it so that you can look at your references at the same time, and you can look at multiple photos at the same time instead of looking at your photos and looking at one photo at the same time, right? I was thinking to myself, well, if it's an app where you literally, by the way, this app is like $2. I was thinking to myself, if this app is just an app where you just upload photos, how hard can it be to create an app? Like myself, how hard is it to code an app where I can just drag and drop photos onto a canvas and resize them? It can't be that hard, right? It can't be that hard. And then I just started looking into like the process of actually like going into like, first of all, developing an app. So if you create an app and you publish it on the Apple Store, it costs $99 to create a developer's account. But if you use it only for yourself, you can still transfer it to other people as long as you connect it to like a laptop. You can download it manually to people as long as you have the original like code. So you can transfer it to people that way. You just can't post it online in any like sense of like the official Apple Store. So I was just thinking, well, if it's something that I'm only going to use myself, I might, like, I feel like I could do it. I feel like I could, right? But then I was like, man, then that means I have to learn, like, Apple's specific type of coding, which is, I think it's called Sharp. Then I'd have to learn Sharp, and then I'd have to, like, download their special app to, like, code, and then I'd have to, like, teach myself how to code. All of this just for, like, a reference app. Which, by the way, I barely use in the first place. I don't even look at, or like I have it, there's a free version on Windows, right? I could just look at my Photos app. I don't need to do all that. I didn't need to do all that, but I don't know why, but I went on this like little mini rabbit hole where I was like, I could just code something, but then I realized that I'd have to actually learn how to code. And that was sad. Anyways, the reason I also wanted to learn coding was because, like, you know all these like cool widgets that you see? Like, look at this, like this clock up here, or like this one over here with this star that like tracks my current followers, or like this chat over here. This is all CSS. And I wanted to create like really cool and cute widgets too, but then I realized that I have to learn how to code. And I also don't know how to code. The most basic thing I know how to code is like I think the CS Python hello world, and that's it. And I don't even remember how that goes. Like most of it is just like what, backward slash semicolon bracket quotation mark hello world quotation mark close bracket something semicolon. I don't remember. Something like that. I barely remember how to code. So that means that I have to go out of my way to learn another thing. And I was like, do I really want to? Do I really want to like go out of my way to like do that? I feel like it is something that I could do, but it's not something that I want to do, you know? Like I if there's something that I don't know how to do, I feel like I could pretty much figure it out. And if I do get stuck, I could just look it up. But at the same time, I don't want to do that. I feel engineering doing things physically is more fun. Like going outside, creating a little metal boat, and like lighting it on fire. Physics is fun. Lighting things on fire is fun. Talking about the process of how it happens is not very fun. You know, when you're younger and you're like, oh my god, I love engineering. I'm gonna go do all these engineering, like you do all these engineering activities because they want you to like get excited about science, right? When you were in school, they had all these engineering activities for kids to like get into engineering, right? They wanted to get kids interested in science. We had all these science labs. And then when you get older, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, here are all the scientific processes and you have to do math. You have to do math. And I'm like, no. They're like, by the way, this thing that you learned back in 3rd grade about photosynthesis is not just plants absorb energy from the sun. We're going to learn about the Krebs cycle. We're going to learn about the citrus cycle. And then we're going to learn about why photosynthesis happens. And then once you get into university and you take first year biology, they go, by the way, the Krebs cycle is just the beginning. We're going to learn about ATP, and we're going to learn about the chemicals that go into the processes of ATP and the Krebs cycle. And we're going to learn about every single step. The 9 steps that you learned as a part of the Krebs cycle is not it. There are 13 steps actually. There's more than that. And there's a secret 14th step, but it's a part of one of the steps in the 13, so we don't really count it. It's just 13. And you're like, man, I just feel like school is just a continuous level of feeling you're dumb. Because there's just never an end to learning. You learn something, you think it's simple. You're like, oh yeah, I know everything about that topic. And then you go back into it, and they're like, no, that was just the simplified version. We're going to teach you more. And that's just how I feel about math. That's why I don't like math. Because then they're like, yeah, by the way, the thing that you learned in math that you thought was easy, that's simple, it actually is like more complex than that. Did you guys know that there is a 14-page layout of the reason how 1 + 1 is equal to 2? Did you know that? I looked it up. There is an actual paper, a mathematical theological paper that somebody went out of their way to write to prove that 1 + 1 is equal to 2. But then again, if you think about it, they did spend like 8 of those pages defining what 1 means and what 2 means. So there is like something out there that does prove that 1 + 1 is equal to 2. And it was just like F1 is equal to the amount of 1. What does 1 quantify as? And then when we use that 1 is quantified as, we use this equation to substitute the variable of 1 into a, and then a into the x squared plus 2, 3, and then they use that to prove that 1 is equal to 1. And then they do the same thing with the number 2, and then they plug them all back into the calculation, and they go, yes, 1 + 1 is equal to 2. And it's so complicated, and that is basically what theoretical math is like. If you guys wanted to know what an example of imaginatory math that doesn't exist, math that is just all numbers and no numbers, that is what it's like. Half of it is just defining what things are. And that is why it's called imaginatory math. It's not real. It's just made up. And there are some people who find that fun. At some point, there was a period of time where I was like, I want to know why this happened. So I did think it was kind of fun for a while. But once you start learning into like the technicalities and you start going into like the quantum theories and you're like, oh boy, this is horrible. Don't do that. It sucked as a career now as biology for me. Yeah, biology is fun though. I like biology. Biology is not fun when you have to learn about chemicals. You gotta learn about why things happen, the chemical processes of neurons and all this stuff that's happening. At the same time, it is cool because you gotta understand why things happen and you can reason it out. See, the reason why you can understand things happen, right? You can understand biology. Biology has a process. It makes sense. Math does not make sense. Math doesn't make sense because they just accept you to take things at face value. And then you have to go into it, and then once you learn the history and the theology and behind it, and then you go, okay, I know why this happens. I used to have problems when I was in class, in math class, where I used to ask my teacher, why are we using this equation? Why are we using this equation? Like, where did this come from? Yeah, x squared plus y squared plus whatever squared divided, like square root of 2 minus, right, the quadratic formula, negative square root of b plus minus m divided by 2 is equal to m. Where did that come from? I used to ask, and they were like, well, it's kind of complicated. And I'm like, well, why can't you explain it to me? And they would be like, well, like, it's kind of hard to explain without like telling you about these other things. And you know, they would try their best to explain. Like, I know with the Pythagorean theorem, it's pretty easy to explain because you draw a square and then you do the thing, and then you can like figure it out, right? Like a square divided by 2, that's why you divide it by 2 and is a square root, and then you like do the exponent. That makes sense. I'm glad that my teacher explained that to me. But when it comes to things like the quadratic angle, where they just kind of tell you it's like this because it is, and you're like, but why? And then they're like, it just is. How did they get it? They won't tell you. And that is why I failed math, because I just did not understand. Because it doesn't make sense. But in biology, things do make sense because you know why things happen. They're like, well, the sun creates energy because energy is heat, right? And then they take the light rays from the sun and it becomes like, it gets converted and all that, and you find out like the photoprocesses, the chlorophyll, and it produces like certain chemicals because it reacts with the UV, and then that makes sense, and it's easy to process because you're like, okay, this happens because of this. Easy. You know what doesn't make sense? History. I was bad at memorizing. Which is weird because I'm pretty good at memorizing like stories when it comes to books, but I just thought that history was super boring. They'd be like, ah yes, in 1983 there was a war. And then in 1987 there was another war. And this war lasted for 3 years. And then after that war ended, they waited like 6 months and then they started another war. And it's just like, when do they stop? When does this end? They're just constantly discovering things. What is going on here? What is going on? Anyways, it's like almost 3, so I think I should go to bed. That is enough talking for me. Before I start talking about another topic, I should go. Anyways, where is my seat? Bow, 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 bow. Why is there absolutely like nobody here? Streaming. What is going on? Wait, I'm gonna raid you guys into somebody. I want to see what they're talking about though. Okay, we're gonna raid into this random person I found. We're just gonna raid into this random person, okay. They just started streaming, like 10 minutes in, so we're gonna go drop in and I'm just gonna go send you guys off. By the way, one last story before I go. By the way, what I used to do... So I had a lot of friends, right? I moved a lot. And what I used to do was that I used to go around and I used to just take people that I was friends with and I would just drop them into a group chat with each other. Absolutely diabolical, by the way. I would like put them in group chats together and they'd be like, who is this? They would both be like, who is this? And I'd be like, oh, this is my friend from this country. And you guys both like, I don't know, you guys both are really into fashion. And I would just leave them. I would literally leave the group chat and I would just let them be. And I'd go up to my friend later and I'd be like, what did you think of my friend? Did you guys become friends? And they were like, we talked for a little and then we stopped talking because it was awkward. And I was like, no, but you could have been really good friends because you got like stuff in common. I was just playing matchmaker to people. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna introduce you to my friend who lives in this country. Isn't this cool? And they would be like, no, not really. I was so sad. I was like, man, this is like, I feel like that would have been fun if it worked out. I went introducing people to different places. Isn't that nice? Anyways, I will go introduce you to this person. They're platinum_arts. They're playing Minecraft